What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 boxing detective, and I'm here for the news. On July 29th, we have Errol Spence taking on Terence Crawford. This is a fight that we're all looking forward to. We're fired up to see. We know that there's a guy who's steeped in fundamentals fighting a guy who's steeped in pure raw athleticism, talent, and a viciousness and a dog in him once he gets you hurt to get you out of it. Going against the guy who just wants to break you down and destroy you round after round. These are two totally different fighters. Terence Crawford is the more the guy who picks you apart, kind of sees what you're doing, gets you timed up, might switch from southpaw to orthodox, orthodox to southpaw. And then he begins to clip you, jab you to the body, set them hooks on your ass in the body. And before you know it, you'll be in a few firefights with him. Because you're going to hit him too. And when Crawford get hit, he damn sure going to get his lick back. We all know that. All of us who are boxing fans, Crawford is going to get his lick back. But yesterday, I was thinking to myself, I am from Texas, I'm from Dallas. I do root for Errol Spence, but I root for all the black fighters, whether it be Tank Davis, whether it be Devin Haney, all the Wilder, across the board. I just root for the black fighters like everybody else. I'm race loyal when it comes to these boxers. But I am from Texas. But yesterday I was thinking, I'm starting to slightly lean towards Crawford. But I said, I haven't watched his last fight because I was so disappointed. Him fighting a male prostitute and David sell your ass Tunisian that I didn't even watch that fight. And yes, I did say a male prostitute. David sell your ass Tunisian. But I said, let me go back and watch this fight. Let me see how Crawford looked in this fight. And for the first time that I've ever watched Crawford, he looked slightly slower than he's ever looked. Now, was he still fast and sharp and somewhat? Yes. But he was getting hit with some punches that was boggling my mind. He got hit with slow overhands. He fought a guy who had zero game plan and was still getting hit. That kind of scared me for Crawford. I'm like, Crawford, you can't just let a male prostitute come in there with his guard. Because if you go back and watch that fight, if you haven't watched it, when he fought Sell Your Ass Tunisia, he literally put his guards up. He put his hands by his chin, ears, and eyes, and just walked straight forward for 6 rounds till eventually he got clipped. But within the process of that, he was actually putting up a good fight, and he was hitting Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford couldn't get out of the way of some of them punches. And we all know Terence Crawford is a slow starter in fights. And Terence Crawford does get hit, and so does Spence. But the problem is, I hope this is not the case. I hope Crawford is at the top of his game. Let me get that straight. I'm not one of these people on here saying this, hoping that he didn't lost this. I hope the car crash hasn't affected Errol Spence in any kind of way. But I'm saying, watching that fight, Terence Crawford better box the whole fight. All this shit about a firefight, that's out. Hey, if he fights that man, how he been fighting, like where he just gets mad and want to get his lick, he's gonna get walked. Like Terence Crawford is gonna get walked if look, this is why I think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter ever. Because you had Pretty Boy, who was a seek, destroy, embarrass, completely obliterate the opponent boxer. Then he turned it to Money, where he was smart, he was defensive, he used a great jab, he used single shots at times, he used movement, he used everything he learned about boxing, his whole boxing IQ to win. It wasn't about firefights or getting in there. No, it was two different fighters. Terence Crawford hasn't made that switch yet. As you get 33, 34, 35, 36, you have to start making a pivot on how you fight based on your age. It's like if you're a basketball player, Michael Jordan of 95, 96, he ain't playing like Jordan of 86, 88. You can't play like that. You have to get different moves, different, you know what I mean? You get your turnaround, you get your post game right, you get other fundamentals right. But Terence Crawford has been fighting the same way for a long time. And Errol Spence is the type of person who's going to come forward. He knocked David Sega Asanesian. He knocked him out in the 6th round. I think he knocked Sean Porter out in the 9th. His best bet is for this shit to go 12 and try to outbox him and outthink him and not get it to as few firefights as possible, using mostly counters, jabs, and getting out of there. Because I watched that fight, y'all, and I'm sorry if you're a Crawford fan or a Crawford fanboy. Either you can be a fan or a fanboy. There's two different guys, but if you're a fan or a fanboy, he bet not get in there and think he fits to do that shit that he's been doing. That's not going to work. And I've said this about Errol Spence. I watched Errol Spence train. I've been to Errol Spence fight when he fought Sean Porter. And when he fought Sean Porter, I thought Crawford could beat him. He could have beat that man because that man was drinking. He's walking around at 180 pounds. When he fought Sean Porter, he wasn't even really training. He was just losing weight. He was training to lose weight. It's the equivalent of playing your way into shape in basketball. And that car crash happened, which was the best thing for him. Now he takes that shit way more seriously. But before that, he wasn't beating Crawford with the shit he was pulling. But now Crawford then got a little bit up there in age. And like I said, I hope and pray that Terence Crawford, for one night, is everything that he's always been. And Spence, for one night, is everything that he's always been. But if things being how they are right now, if Terence Crawford goes in there with what I seen, even against Porter, where a lot of people had him losing at that point when he knocked out Porter, he's gonna get walked. I mean, dog walk. I mean, beat where the eye is swollen, where a rib might be broken. He has to box Spence's head off when he get mad. And it's not about get back. It's about timing and countering and catching him flush and keeping him frustrated, using footwork and body work. But if you go back and watch that fight and you watch it honestly, where he fought the male prostitute, David Asanesian, you can't tell me that Crawford looked good. You might say he was rusty, but you was fighting a male prostitute, so that cancels that out. You fighting a bomb, basically. That's a C-level fighter at best. If you look at it, you can't even look at that fight and tell me that man literally didn't have no game plan. All he did was put his hands up by his chin and walk forward and was catching Crawford. So really this video I made ain't even about Spence. It's about Crawford because Crawford has to come to box. He really does. There's a lot of videos that break down footwork but they talking about shit in the past. They showing Crawford videos from fucking 6 years ago. I hope it does, but I have a feeling that's not going to matter on July 29th of what you did 6 years ago. I don't care about what you did against Ndongo or what. None of that shit's going to matter at 140 pounds. This man, let's be honest, Errol Spence is really 160 pounds. Personally, I think he's a weight bully, but I don't look at that as a bad term because if you can make weight, you can make weight. But all I'm saying is, really, he's rehydrating up to fucking 160 plus easily. So you fighting a person who spars Jamar Charlo on them. This man is hitting thunderously. That's why I say, this is going to be a hell of a fight. Will I be at the fight? You damn skip, y'all be there. How I'm going to get in right now, I don't know. I might have to parachute in. But somehow, somewhere, I'll be in that G thing, enjoying my best life. The last fight I went to the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight. I had a blast at that fight. That was electric. I almost went to that Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight, but I said, I'll pass. You catch me at the biggest fight in the last 20 years. Spence versus Crawford. Crawford has to win this fight, you guys. Crawford has to win this fight. Because if he doesn't, there's no way he's winning the second fight. That's why I was close to leaning towards picking Crawford. because there's no way in Sam Hill hell he's going to take a vicious beating the way Spence is hitting and putting people out. See, anybody know anything about combat sports, whether it be boxing, MMA, it's better to get knocked out than get punished for a long period of time. Because knocked out, you can recover from that shit. How boxers die is by sustained punishment. Mikey Garcia, when he got his ass whooped, me and my partner was on the phone, and I said, I guarantee you Mikey Garcia won't fight for the next year and a half. He did not. Danny Garcia, I told my partner, we was on the phone, he not going to fight for at least a year plus. He didn't fight for a year plus. I told my partner, well, I didn't tell, but this was plainly obvious to all of us. After he beat up Ugas, it's been going on fucking... Ugas might not fight for 2 years. That's the amount of punishment he took. What Crawford is doing is impressive, but what Spence is doing is life-changing to people. Their lives are not the same no more. So he better come with his goddamn A game. Most definitely better come with his A game. But, you know, I made this video when I thought they had made the fight 9 months ago. As you can see, I made this video 9 months ago. And I was the first person on YouTube to compare Terence Crawford to Kevin Garnett. Just attitude, fiery. You know, a lot of people get caught up in the championships and all, but just take them as individuals. If basketball was a one-on-one sport, you know, that's totally different from team sports, obviously. Tim Duncan got way more championships. But you got pure fundamentals against athleticism. One guy, it's boring to watch Tim Duncan practice. Like Errol Spence, that's terrible to watch. I'd rather watch the big ticket practice all day long. But when the game comes on, motherfucker can't be stopped. All that fiery attitude and all that shit just not, that ain't gonna always help you against a motherfucker who's fundamentally sound. But it still should be a great fight. And Terence Crawford has a 50-50 shot at this fight. But if he comes what he came with against the male prostitute, David Sell Your Assanesian, he fits to get destroyed. And it won't be no rematch. You can throw that shit out the window. But if Bud can box all night long, keep that jab on him, pop him in the body, stay away from as many firefights as possible, he got a shot. Legitimate shot. But I still like Errol. I was close to coming on here and picking Crawford. I swear to y'all I was. But I said, let me watch his last fight. And let me watch it honestly before I say Crawford is going to beat this man. Because I've been saying Errol was going to win for the longest. Let me at least watch his last fight. I got to do my due diligence. And I did, and I didn't like what I seen at all. But I just want to go over those clips right quick. As you can see, I was the first person on YouTube. You can see it again, 9 months ago. Big ticket versus the big fundamentals. Well, this has been Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel, YouTube's #1 boxing detective. I'm here for the news. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on. This is going to be one hell of a fight. Terence Crawford better box his ass off right. Peace.